Another controversial development for the U.S. military. President Obama announced that 100 troops have been deployed to Niger in North Africa, where they will establish a drone base to aid in the fight against Islamic militants in the region. Joining me now, P.J. Crowley, former Assistant Secretary of State and a fellow at the George Washington University Institute for Public Diplomacy and Global Communications. P.J., it's always a pleasure. Glad you're here. This just the beginning, is it, for the U.S. military presence there in Africa? Is that going to be our primary focus after the Afghan drawdown?
Well, no, we've had drones in Djibouti for some time. I think what's crucial about a difference, say, between what's happening in Niger and what might be happening in a place like Yemen, these evidently will be unarmed, and they are part of an intelligence and surveillance support for French and African troops that have intervened in Mali.
So any indication that Islamic militants in Niger or elsewhere in northern Africa have the capabilities to attack the U.S.?
Well, there certainly is a concern about the spread of extremist fighters throughout the Sahel, starting with Libya and then moving west towards Nigeria. I think part of the U.S. policy is to try to help stabilize and improve the capabilities of governments in that region. Obviously, Libya is a work in progress. Mali, unfortunately had a coup by some troops that had received U.S. training in previous months, and obviously the effort in Nigeria to oppose a group called Boko Haram is of great long-term concern for the United States and others.
I want to pick up further on the drone strikes, because you wrote recently in an op-ed that Pakistan is actually undermining any developments we might be making in the region beyond just Pakistan. Are drones having a net positive or negative impact on our national security?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Obviously, if we're able to bring effective lethal force without putting 100,000 troops on the ground, that's a net positive. In Niger, you have a situation where they're unarmed, but the government of Niger has signed a status of forces agreement and acknowledged that U.S. forces will be there. Obviously, the president has done the same. That's the way the system is supposed to work. You have drones operating in Yemen. Again, the Yemeni government has, on the one hand, acknowledged that the drones are there. On the other hand, occasionally it has been deceptive in suggesting that operations that were conducted by the United States were actually conducted by Yemen. So there's some disinformation there. The situation in Pakistan is really unsustainable, where you have a very significant drone campaign underway. It's evident, to the Pakistani public. It's reported widely in the news media, and yet the United States has not really overtly acknowledged that what's happening there. And as a result, the Pakistani government claims, that drones are a violation of its sovereignty, and has not acknowledged what might be known within, Pakistan's government about, cooperation that might be going on with that program.